Hi, my name is Rich Legault and I live in Dighton, Massachusetts, and this is my contribution to the It Gets Better project. I'm a 41-year-old gay geek. I still play video games, role-playing games, and have an enormous Lego collection. The geek part of me is actually relevant to the story, so please stick with me. I was never like a lot of the other kids that I grew up with. I was brainy and artistic and hopelessly unathletic, and so that made me a target for the bullies' teasing and abuse from the moment I started school. And I'm not kidding. The first day of kindergarten, one of the other kids hit me repeatedly with a xylophone mallet, and that may seem funny now, but it wasn't at the time. The bullies would tease me, trip me, knock me down, hit me, they even spit on me. They called me all those nasty names long before I even knew what they meant. So, I've always been introspective, and I realized that I was gay when I was 12. And I have to say that it was agony. 1982 was not a good time to figure out that you're gay. AIDS was sweeping through the gay community, and the doctors and scientists hadn't learned much about it, and being gay seemed like a death sentence to me. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I felt completely isolated. I grew up in a small suburb in Massachusetts. I was raised Catholic, and my parents were closed-minded. I didn't have any friends that I saw outside of school at that time. There were just no role models for me at all. I didn't even meet anyone who was out until I was 20. The names that the bullies called me took on some extra meaning after I realized I was gay. They made me feel completely worthless. I waited until I was almost 22 to come out, and spent 10 years hiding myself from the world. I thought about killing myself often. Some weeks it was almost every day. I just didn't see a future for myself that contained any happiness or fulfillment. But I waited. And what did I do while I was waiting? Well, I did some things to help protect myself. I immersed myself in books and music. I became a straight-A student. I figured that my parents wouldn't ask too many questions about why I wasn't dating girls, and the teachers were more likely to stick up for me when I was being bullied. And that turned out to be true. And it also made for some financial security after I got out of school. Being a good student makes it easier to get a good job. I also played video games and became friends in high school with some other guys who liked Dungeons and Dragons. I stayed friends with them through college and made more geek friends. And it was their love that carried me through the coming out process. I waited until I was almost 22 to come out. I had lived at home through college, but finally finished, and my parents couldn't do much to control me financially anymore. In hindsight, I'm not sure that waiting so long was the best decision, but everything has turned out so well it's really hard to say. I know it's difficult to be patient when you're suffering so much. But I can honestly tell you that the most difficult time in your life is what you're going through right now. It really does get better. My geek friends were wonderful when I was coming out. 2 of them even went so far as to insist that I tell them everything about what I was going through. And I can't thank them enough for that opportunity. In contrast, when my parents found out that I was gay, which is in September of '91 as I was starting grad school, they were just horrible. They said things to me that still make me cry today when I think about them. I moved out and into one of the small cities nearby, and my life really began to change for the better. In the next 3 years, I got a job as a technical trainer where I can be myself, and I quit grad school, which I was only doing to make my parents happy anyway. And I also met a wonderful man, and we bought a home together in a rural neighborhood not far from where I grew up. All of these videos will tell you that it gets better, but I want to tell you that it gets fantastic, not just better. Back then, I never would have believed that I could become the person that I am today. I'm so glad that I decided to stick around. I have met amazing people and made so many wonderful friends and done things I never thought I could. Gary and I, who have been together for 16 years now, were married in 2005, and there were 190 people at our wedding, most of which are straight and it included our neighbors. So when the world or that voice of doubt inside your head tells you that you can't be something or do something because you're LGBTQ, don't believe it. I'm living proof that everything is possible. I, who once upon a time would never speak out for fear of being noticed and making myself a target, have become politically active and a voice for social justice. Every day I become a little braver, a little kinder, and a little more the person that I've always wanted to be. So hang on and believe. Believe in yourself, believe in the future, and believe that everything is possible for you. It absolutely is. Thank you so much for listening.